So I put my 4 knapsacks into the luggage compartment of the bus I'm about to get on. I climb up the stairs, I find a nice comfortable seat, and I sit down and I breathe out. All the stresses of the past week are gone, and I'm ready to relax. So this is my first solo trip in Europe. I just am leaving Ukraine, and I'm just leaving family that I've met for the very first time. So something that you have to understand about Eastern European family is that there's a lot of guilt. Why haven't you come to see us? It's been 13 years. Don't you love us? Don't you want to see us? Don't you want to know what's going on? But the biggest guilt I've ever felt is the fact that I haven't seen my grandma for a very long time. I haven't seen her since I was 9 years old. So I'm rushing to go see her. I have only a few days left on my vacation, and I really want to spend the most time with her. So to grandma's house I go, but it's a very complicated journey. So I'm leaving at a 9 p.m. bus that takes me across the Polish-Ukrainian border to a tiny town in Poland. In that town, I catch a 6 a.m. train that takes me 10 hours, and finally I get to my grandma's house. So I'm on the bus, I'm relaxed, I fall asleep. I wake up, check my watch, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. I look around, everybody's fast asleep. The bus is stopped, I look outside, it's a parking lot. I'm gonna go back to sleep. I wake up again, it's 3 o'clock this time. I look around, people are still asleep, the bus is still stopped, and it's still a giant parking lot outside. I'm confused, disoriented, I have no idea what's going on, I need help. So I walk up to the front of the bus, and in the aisle, there's a pair of legs. As I walk closer, I realize it's the driver sleeping. I come closer, I stir him awake. He grunts at me and throws his arm up in the air. He's a middle-aged man with the typical Eastern European, thick, bushy mustache. I say in my limited Ukrainian, "Excuse me, why are we stopped? Why are we stopped?" "Don't wake him up." I turn around, and it's another passenger. She is what I would call at the pre-babushka stage. So, very short hair, stout body shape. All she needs is a little handkerchief, and in about a couple of years, she'll be at the full babushka stage. I said, "What's going on? Why are we stopped?" "We are at the Ukrainian-Polish border." "Okay, how long are we going to be here?" 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 days, I don't know. 2 hours, 4 hours. I have a train at 6 o'clock in the morning I have to catch. I just left family behind that I met for the very first time. I don't have time for this. What are my options? 2 options. Go by foot or go talk to officer. Okay. So I hop over the still sleeping driver. I get out of the bus and I walk up to the officer. As I get to the officer, he's a heavily built man, nice blue uniform, stern look on his face. But the thing that really stands out is the AK-47 strung around his shoulders. I start to panic. I'm like, what are you thinking, Justyna? In what world are you going to do anything and get away with anything to this officer? Maybe it's against the law to even talk to these guys here. But as I get closer to him, I put on my most innocent face and I say, I need to get to my grandma's house, I need to catch the 6 a.m. train, and I need to get across the border. He goes, okay, go by foot. I go, but I'm all alone, and I'm on the bus. Is there another option? Yes, cars. Okay, can you help me find somebody to get in that looks safe? Okay. So we look at the first row, and it's just man, mustache, 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 mustache. Second row, mustache, 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 young, cute, blonde, singing to a song, smiling. That's a sign. That's a sign. I'm like, him? Okay. So we start walking up, and my relief starts to go away because I realize that he's in a white, unmarked van with no windows. It's something we call a creepy-ass van. Come here, little girl. So I don't know how I'm feeling at this point. So the officer knocks on his window. He rolls his down. Take her across the border. The guy looks at me up and down suspiciously. Why? Now, you have to understand that between the Ukrainian and Polish border, there's a lot of smuggling going on. Cigarettes, vodka, you name it, it goes to the border. There's women who are this thin at home and this fat when they go across the border with cigarettes strapped around them. So I understood his suspicious. So in my most innocent face, I said, I need to go to my grandma's house. I need to catch the 6 a.m. train, and I need to get across the border. And he says in his fluent English, okay, no problem. Canada works here, you know. So I grabbed my stuff, head into his car, and I learned all about him. So he's from Czech Republic, studied English at university, has a wife and a little girl, and he's rushing home to meet them, and he's hoping that he doesn't have to stay at the border as long as he needs to. So my perfect guy. And I feel really, really safe. I really like him. So after a couple of minutes of speaking, the gate comes up, we go through the border, we go into a kiosk, give our passports, he goes for a cigarette, I stroll out of the car, relax my legs a little bit. I see a woman officer, and she is the upgraded version of the pre-babushka. I would call the pre-babushka 2.0, right? And I say to her, how long does it take to get from here to the place where I need to catch my train? 4 hours. Like, 4 hours, my head gets dizzy. 4 hours, my heart is on the ground. It's past 3 plus 4, that's 7. My train is at 6. What can I do? Go talk to captain. So I go where she points her finger. There's an office inside is a captain sitting, and the AK-47s are all across the wall. And I say to him in my most innocent voice, I'm going to my grandma's house, I need to get on a 6 a.m. train, and I need to get across the border. A whole bunch of whirlwind activities happen. Things are said, I have no idea. All of a sudden, my passports and his passports are thrown in my hand. Go. So we go. I said, let's get in the car, step on it. We can get across the border. They let us go. The gates open. We drive. 5 meters, stop. In front of us is another sea of parking lots. What is this? Oh, now you have to get into the Polish border. Okay, my stomach is in a big knot. I have tears at the corner of my eyes. I realize I made a giant mistake. I should have stayed with my family in Ukraine, waited a day or two, caught the proper train, done the things that I was supposed to do, done my research. But I didn't. So I knew what I had to do. I get out of the car, I walk to the nearest border patrol officer, and my fluent Polish, I say, I need to get to my grandma's house. I need to catch the 6 a.m. train, and I need to get across the border. He goes, okay, do you see this empty road here where the people come to Ukraine? You can use that to go around. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. We get back in the car, we go around. Now we're in the 4th lineup to check our passports. But this time there is no empty road. There's no way for me to go around. So I go out of the car, I go to the nearest border patrol officer, and I say, in a nice, innocent face, I'm going to my grandma's house, I need to get on the 6 a.m. train, and I need to cross the border. He goes, you can't, there's no road. Go by foot. I said, there's a sidewalk. Can I put 2 wheels on the sidewalk and 2 wheels in the road? Tak. Yes, go, do. Okay, sounds good. So we're driving on the sidewalk now, and all of a sudden there's a car pulls up right in front of us and stops us. There's no way we can go around him. Now, the guy in the car is a super regulation, bushy, grumpy, mustache man. He has been waiting there for I don't know how many days, and he's not letting anybody pass. He tosses his hand up in the air and is ignoring us completely. So I get out of the car and put my most innocent face on, and I say, my mom's in the hospital, I need to get across the border. No sympathy, ignores me, walks, does things. So I'm feeling really confident at this point. I've gotten so many border patrol officers with AK-47s to help me. So I call over my friend, hey, come here. He won't leave us. Can you get him out of here? So the border patrol officer comes over, leans down, kurwa mać, get your fucking car out of the way. And he does. And we get to the kiosk, give our passports, everything's okay, the gate lifted. Go, 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 go. We have 2 hours to catch my train, 2 hours. We're driving, I'm panicking. He's speeding very, very fast. I don't know what's going to happen. I just left my family. I'm probably not going to make it the 6 o'clock train. I'm gonna be stuck in this little shitty border town. I've made all the wrong decisions. And anxiety is all within me. And so all of a sudden he stops. It's been 20 minutes. What's going on? Why did you stop? Not another fucking security guard. Nope. We're here. We're at the train station. What? How is this possible? And then I realized that the pre-Babushka 2.0 meant 4 hours, including the normal wait time at the border. So I got across the border, I got my 6 a.m. train, and I got to see my grandma.